Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of TalkFlow. This is episode 26. And in this episode, we're just going to be talking about,
Everything.
just anything, to be honest, like whatever, we've done in
Yeah,
the past 2 weeks. We've
I
both been some busy bees the past 2 weeks because we haven't
you were,
uploaded.
dude, not me.
So we're just gonna be just talking about whatever we're feeling, to be honest. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
just, bro, I think the whole structured content idea is sort of carried over because we did the live streams first, right? So we sort of had some topics that we want to talk about, and then we watch Finsway. They also do that topic structure, but like I feel like we get to that zone where it's just like chat, 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 and then you stop, and then I chat, 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 and then both of us just stop for no reason. It's just talk about stuff, man. Let's screw it. Let's just talk about something.
Yeah, I mean, bro, like the past 2 weeks, man, what I've been thinking is I think I wouldn't say I'm in that phase because we all talk about all the up and down thing.
Yeah, every
I
week.
wouldn't say that I'm in the up phase. Like I think there is a way to go around that.
What do you
Um,
mean?
you know how it's like, oh, every freelancer goes through that up and down phase.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
one time, they get a bunch of clients, then they
yeah.
close
Yeah,
them and they have to market again to get more.
yeah.
I think there's a way to solve that, to be honest. I think it's like limiting the number of clients you do get and knowing what you can handle. And I think I kind of figured that out. Like
I think
I got 4 projects right now, and I think that's perfect for me. I can, do very good work, but then at the same time I can
no.
also like focus on doing sales and all of that stuff
This is
as
the
well.
thing, right? Like you work on four, and then you gotta also find the next four, and you gotta like match that so that they don't overlap. That's where a lot of the problem comes in.
Yeah,
Once
yeah,
even
because
let's say
yeah,
you
I
have
had like
four
a
now.
bunch of client calls, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I
And
can't, I
let's
can't
say
do
you
that
have
right now.
four, and then you get another, like let's say you get another 10 leads or some shit, and then you gotta like talk to them, sort of get the project. You gotta finish this four while you get the next four. And you
Mm,
also gotta make sure that it doesn't overlap so that you don't have too much work to do. Or like you
yeah,
stop losing quality. Been there. Like my November, I don't know when I don't know whether they spoke about it, but November was like that phase where I thought I
yeah.
cracked it, and then I completely screwed up because that was like I just said there was just too many projects that I wanted to
How
do.
many projects were you handling at that
That
time?
at that time I was like, started out with like three. It was just nice. I'm like, okay, that's nice. Three is just nice. And then while I was doing that, I was also there's still enough time to go and find other leads or engage with other leads. And then for some reason, I'm like, yeah, we can. And the clients are like, oh, can we start next week? I'm like, yeah, sure, next week. The other projects are gonna finish, and then that project get delayed, right? Like they're like, oh, we are still waiting on content, or can you do this fix, that fix, and another project comes in, and at by the mid-November, I had 6 projects all ongoing. Like some were in like the feedback phase, one was like in the design phase, two were in the development phase, and I was like,
Mm.
what am I doing, Jesus? And the quality, and I think I told you, I think I told that in the very early stream, like that was when I felt the quality just dropped. Like I
Yeah,
wasn't like none of the clients came back to work
bro. I
again.
think that's one thing I'm feeling right now. It's like
The
I
quality
got,
just
yeah,
there's a
bro.
creative
My
block,
past,
honestly.
yeah,
Like
bro. I was just
you
gonna
feel
say
like
that.
you're not doing enough, or like, oh, it's not creative
Yeah,
enough, it doesn't look that nice, or like
bro. I got like three design projects, bro, and it's like, it's like what you're doing because right now I feel like I'm doing way too much design compared to Webflow. Like,
that's the
and every
issue.
time
And
I
I think
design and like you have to switch between projects and like it's just so hard. Like
and like
I don't know, man.
and when you're working on like 2 or 3 designs, every
And
single
bro,
design
you
starts to
remember
look the
when
same.
I messaged you yesterday? I was like, bro, I think my designs are getting repetitive because I feel like
Yeah,
getting
yeah, 'cause
lazy, but I'm figuring it out. Like
I know.
I
Like
said that
even I
yesterday, and
I do
last
that
night I
even
was
with
like,
two
yeah,
projects. Like when you have 2 projects, I look at this grid here. I'm like, ah, it looks so nice. Take it and put it in here.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And this button interaction
bro.
looks nice. I'll do
Bro,
it in this one as well.
sometimes what I do is I just literally go back to my old projects. I'm like, oh, this can be used in this project, and literally duplicate it. I'm like,
I think that's the issue with like having too many projects at one go. It's just like
but
sometimes
I think for you, remember it was like you use the same font for so many projects. I
yeah,
forgot
because
what it was.
it was just
Like
like
Dream Orphans or
yeah,
something
they
like
know
that.
font. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Adobe font. It's because you're
yeah.
like, oh, you're so tired, you can't be asked to go find a new font. You don't have the time, honestly, the luxury. And that's why I think you
Mm,
told me like the VetX project is like so
that was
slick
in
and it's
that's
so
such a
nice.
nice project,
That's
bro.
almost a year ago, exactly a year ago. and that was the only
Mm,
client I had. Like at that time, he was like the biggest client, and that was the only guy I was working with. So like,
mm.
just imagine the whole day you have one project to work with.
That, bro,
And
that would be because then all you're doing is thinking about that,
yeah,
putting scripts and
and I'm
managing
like,
on that.
oh, we can do this and we can do that. And the thing is, the client didn't even have any assets. He didn't even have content. I was making all that up as I go, and like
Mm,
just focusing on the one client with, for me, that back then was that was like a lot of money. But like now I'm looking at it, I'm like, fuck, I just wasted so much time. But like I miss that feeling, man. Like it's just like you wanted to deliver so much because they're paying you relatively a lot compared to like your other
mm.
clients, and then I don't know, man. It's just much simpler time now. It's just like however much they pay, you're like, nah, I just don't want to do it.
Yeah,
Especially
but
design.
I think I think I think it's like the spark is just gone. I mean, for me, I don't think so, but for
It's not.
you, I think it
It's
is.
not gone. I think I'm just. I think I need a break. I say this every 3 weeks.
This guy
I,
says
I,
it's
I, I
every 5 minutes.
solid need to like shut down Webflow, shut down my laptop, and just stop
Mm.
thinking. And I think I did that in July last year. And right after that is when I did the inflow. I don't know whether you still remember. It was
Yeah, 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 I remember
the
you told me about it.
invoicing
Yeah,
stuff. That
inflow.
was like still one of the biggest clonables, right? Like that 1 week I just completely shut down like Webflow. There was no lead. There was nothing I was doing. I was
I
just
think I might do that this summer. Just go like
I'm gonna do
abroad
that this week,
somewhere.
man. I'm going back to Malaysia. I'm gonna like I
Yeah.
told I mean I do have two clients. I'm like shit. I didn't want to take it on, but it was like a good name to take it on. So I
Mm.
was like, okay, I'll just finish. It was quite
Which
simple.
do you tell me about this one?
Not yet. I was going to, and then we went all the
Oh,
way. I don't know that I can tell. I mean, fuck it, why not? So it's a company called not a company, it's an NGO called Tony Blair Institute for Global Change or something. So Tony
oh, I know
Blair,
Tony Blair. Oh, Tony Blair's that president, prime
yeah,
minister, isn't it? So,
our
yeah,
ex Labour Prime Minister.
yeah.
Yeah, and I was like that lead. So funnily, the lead sort of the lead sort of came
Was it
through.
through Google
No,
or
it was
like
through the
LinkedIn?
Webflow showcase.
Oh wow,
Interesting, huh?
okay.
They were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, we
What did
saw
they
your
like
work."
about it?
No, they just say like, "Oh, we came across the team came across your work and we like all the things that you're
Did you say
doing."
anything in
And
specific? Like what
no, it was
project?
just I don't even know what they saw, but I think it was just like the whole profile,
Oh, okay, okay,
like your
fair.
public profile
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah,
Webflow, isn't it? So I'm like, oh
yeah.
wow, that is interesting because people are actually going.
But I think that's so underestimated. Like the releasing
Yeah,
projects
and then
like
that
clonables.
week I was like,
I remember one time I had a call while I was in uni from some guy from France, bro. It was like, oh, I'm building this startup. I like this project from your showcase. I was like, oh, cool, whatever.
I think I know that. Was it like some video platform?
I don't remember, man. This was
Okay,
so long
because
ago.
I had a very similar French guy with a startup that came through the showcase as well.
Oh, is it? It probably
Yeah,
was
yeah.
him then.
Probably was the same person, yeah. But yeah, that's why I was like, oh shit, people are actually looking through the showcase more than the thing with Google, right? Like even though you're ranking, I am ranking, people click on it, they scroll through it, and then they have like so many other lists. They don't
Mm,
really the work don't really capture your eyes. And then
mm,
with Google, you can't really do super fancy design because you want the
mm,
client to see your work and get in touch with you rather than like
yeah.
spend 10 minutes figuring out what the hell do you do. And that's the issue again, that's a whole different issue that we can talk about. But like the showcase is like a quite powerful place to just put up interesting work. And I think that's why
Mm,
clonables are so useful, but it's just so difficult to do it, right? Like you can't even hire someone to do it because they need to be creative enough to even do clonables. And I was
mm,
looking for somebody to do that. Like I think I told you, I reached out to some of the people that I see in the showcase to just do clonables, but it's just like everybody's in it for their own. So I kind of understand it. Like it's a very
yeah.
yeah. I don't know, man.
I
It's just
mean, bro, like I think we talked about this before, isn't it? Like I think it's similar to like clonable because clonables is like one way, like
one way to show
outside
your
of client work that
creativity.
you can do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
creativity
yeah,
basically.
one, yeah, like, but then I was, what's it called? Speaking to you before we just hit record. We should have recorded it. So now it's just we're
Every
repeating the
week,
same
every time.
thing. But it's like, what else can you do outside of client work and like portfolio building that will attract clients? And then obviously, this what one of them is clonables, but I think
It's
that falls in
difficult,
the same
man.
plate as portfolio building because it is kind of part
Yeah.
of the portfolio.
The thing with the
But one thing that
clonables,
I did do
yeah.
one thing that I did do last week, and I think I told you about this. So last week I had my first RFP client. So RF. RFP is request for
Request for
proposal for those
proposal.
that don't know. And basically some client just sent that through. That was my first one, and I was like, okay, cool. And they were like a very big company, and they had a very large budget. So I was like, all right, cool. Let's. I'm gonna try my hardest to get this client. And I think I became like Joe Krieg for a second, bro, because I was like, let me just over deliver this shit this client before they even like jump on a course. I was like, okay, cool. What is the best thing I can do to win this client over? And I was like, shit. And then I spoke to a few people, and I was like, all right, cool. I think I've got my idea of my plan. So my plan was, let me just kill two birds with one stone, because it's like, okay, cool. That client, I don't have any portfolio in there. Like, I don't have a portfolio project in their industry. The industry is very specific.
Yeah.
So I was like, shit, okay, that might be a downfall. And I don't really have anything that's similar to like the design they're looking for. The design was like very professional, modern, like corporate kind of shit. So I was
Yeah.
like, all right, cool. So then I was like, all right. So the problem is like they don't know what design what's it called. They may not be able to trust me. No, I don't have a design that can show them that, okay, yeah, we want that kind of design. And I don't have an industry, I don't have a project in the industry for them to
Mm.
point at, be like, oh yeah, you have experience in our industry. I was like, okay, shit. So I was like, you know what? So the main thing was the design, and like they don't really. I think this is for all clients, not specifically them, but all clients are like, oh, we don't know how good you're going to be at the design. Yeah, they can look at your portfolio and whatnot, but they also want to know like, oh, how fast you are at design, how like how good you are developing. So I was like, you know what, that is their problem. Like they don't know how good am I designer in Webflow, although they can look at my portfolio, but they've looked at thousands of portfolio. Like I need something to stand out. So I was like, you know what, so they had their RFP. Then they were like, okay, cool. From this RFP, we want these vendors to reply back with
Yeah.
like a presentation, like a proposal. And I went on YouTube. I watched like a Nerd's World video about his RFP. Then I was like, all right, it's a presentation, whatnot. Then I was like, why couldn't I just make it into a website? I was like, okay, cool. So I made it. I actually made it into a website. And I basically, so I'm for those that don't know, I'm redesigning my current website,
It's been
and I
like
basically just
2 months.
use like those similar. I basically just use the same, not same, but similar sections, like basically the same styling and design, and like just pasted it and like made a proposal out of it. So I had like a header, a note, a portfolio, and I also had this. I think this is a really good section. I had this section that says "Why us," and it was like basically there was like these pills. You know what? I don't know if I can show it. Actually, no, I can't. There was like these pills of like capabilities. So, for example, filtering or CMS or something like that, and then the pills that are purple, you can click on it and they'll show you an example of it. And I think that was really really powerful. Um, so
I see
I
what you
put that
mean.
in. I also put like the price in, and I put a bunch of stuff in. Bro, when I tell you, I have this like notion where it's like I track all of my client calls, and that was that was my only 10 out of 10 call. And normally my best calls are like 9 out of 10, where I could have improved a little bit here and there. That
Yeah.
was my 10 out of 10, like my only 10 out of 10 call. Hopefully one of many, but it's like that call went so well. And like when I came back, I was like, like what can I do to improve? Because that's what I always do. Like I have this Notion document that says mistakes and improvements, like what mistakes you made and how you can improve. And I literally couldn't think of any. Like that's how good the call was. And yeah, so it's like I think that's just an example of like just standing out firstly, and also the power of just because what I think I've done is I showed the client that I can build websites, I can design and build websites, and I told them, oh, this website only took me 2 days to design and build. So I feel like I won them over. Let's see, but I think, yeah, man, I don't know. I kind of waffled there, but yeah, but I think
It's
I
the
think
one
that's
that
one thing
was
I did learn, and it was like I tried it, I tested it, and it actually worked, and I think it's good to share. Like if
what was
anyone has an
again?
RFP, or if there is a client that you really really want, make a website for them, like a proposal, and like list out your capabilities, why you're fit for the project, and just building a website for them. It's gonna be, yeah, it's really good. And I kind of learned that trick from Hans Springer because they do that a lot, isn't it? They have like this whole website where they show different modules and they sell it on. Um, so yeah, man,
What,
I
what,
think
what was the
yeah.
question again? I forgot.
What question?
Oh, we're
I
talking.
don't think I asked the question.
How did this come up?
Oh, I was just talking about like unorthodox ways like you can do to grow, and like not
No, but like
not the
what
traditional route.
I saw we talked about something and then it came to that.
Oh yeah, I think you're talking about clonables. You're talking about clonables.
Yeah. Okay. So that got into a tangent. But yeah, clonables. We were talking about what what else could you do besides client work, right? Like clonables is
Yeah.
I think everybody says clonables, but how many people actually do clonables? And even if you do, you don't want to end up looking quite spammy. That was like one of my biggest fear with like clonables is like you you do clonables, yeah, but like if it's not anything interesting or unique, then it's just there. I think it's just the diminishing return. Like you're just wasting your time.
Mm,
It's just another FAQ or another CMS blog page or something that you can easily find 10 other alternate options.
mm,
That beats the whole point of it being a clonable, for me at
mm.
least. That's why I find it so difficult to sort of find something to put out as a clonable because
What I do, yeah, is I know where you're coming from. It's so hard to think of it on the spot, but what I do is I go on the showcase and I see projects like really cool projects that are not clonables. So the showcase, but they're not clonables, and those projects get a lot of likes and they're like number one or two. But then because they're not clonable, no one can clone the component. So for example, like I think I saw this one where it's like the navbar kind of shrinks when you scroll past the hero section, but that website was not clonable. So then, I mean, I'm thinking like, you know, if
I
I
see.
don't really want to build a clonable right now, but if I was like, I would
I
build
see.
that and then release it as a clonable because people already like it. So it's like,
Yeah.
but the only thing is it's just not clonable. So just
And also it's
build
just
it and then clone it. I
hard.
mean, there
I
could
mean,
be that argument that oh, you're kind of stealing and all of this shit,
it
but
is, isn't it? Like
who cares, man? Like,
I don't know. I think
bro,
my experience is sort of tainted from the inflow and that app showcase clonable because those two were
mm,
like things that I created and then I put it out without expecting anyone to clone it.
mm,
But those two components are very like for example, the app showcase, the one with the phone sort of scrolling with the screens inside. It is how would you even search for that? And even if you do, I don't think there's any other option besides that one. Like if you look for like
mm,
a different way to showcase your app without using a lottie, that is probably the only option there. That's
mm,
why it has a lot of clones, and that's why a lot of like the popular clonables get a lot of clones is because there isn't an option like an alternative there.
mm, mm,
Right,
mm,
it's the
mm,
first
mm.
one there, and it's the most popular one.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, if you do clonables, it has to be done properly because otherwise it's gonna be on your profile, and if it's like two clones, right? I feel like you rather just delete it.
Yeah,
If
trust
you
me, like
want to use like it,
it's basically it's like if you're gonna make a clonable, just make sure it bangs. Like
yeah,
like
yeah.
don't make it a stinker. Like
That's why I end up
it's
doing
not
a lot of
YouTube
the
where you have
stuff.
to upload once a week. It's like just you know
Yeah,
just
that's the thing. Like
create
you
one
see,
that's
like
really
a lot
good.
of the
If
agencies
you don't
do it
have a great idea, just don't do it. It's
because
better just not
otherwise
to do
it looks quite spammy, right? Like you're just putting
it.
everyone and nobody's looking. It's the same concept of
Like
like
you want 100% of your clonables to be sick, not like 50 or 40.
I know, I know that's yeah, but like whenever I hear that, I sound like I'm like some control like perfectionist or something. But that's what I end up doing with like social media, the portfolio
Yeah,
blog.
I was gonna say that like
Like
you use the same narrative in everything you do.
I do because I don't want anybody to see the stuff and just be like, it's just another spam. Like like you see like 10
Mm-mm.
posts and everything is like 2 likes, 1 like. Like that is like I don't
I
want
remember
that.
since
I
day one
hate
you were
that.
going on about how like Gary V's whole content thing is bullshit. Like
It is bullshit.
I
I
was
can tell
like
you why.
because it's true.
It is
In
true.
the beginning I didn't really understand what you meant, but now
And
I
I
do.
told
I
you
was
this
like,
as well because when you
yeah,
post so often, you become noise. You just end up
yeah.
scrolling past. Like how many YouTube videos that you see post every
Like you
day?
need to create urgency, isn't it? Like
Yeah, like
I
get
don't know if people know this,
quality.
but Nico Omalana, the YouTuber,
I know, yeah, that guy, the British guy,
like
he's really good at it.
he's
And he
such a
posts
good
like what
YouTuber, man.
once a month or once
Yeah,
a
bro, like
month.
his
His
last
latest one,
upload was like it was a couple of days ago,
16 million,
like a
yeah,
week ago.
twenty
It was
million
like,
views.
bro, it got right now it's on like 25 million views.
Yeah,
The
it's crazy.
the video
He's
before that was 3 months ago.
yeah,
But if he was uploading every month, he would just run out of ideas and like what I mean.
exactly right.
So
It's the same
it's like
as Mark
and I
Roma,
think people
right?
have the fear of like, oh, if I don't upload every week, people are not gonna lose interest. Bro, he didn't upload for 3 months, bro.
Yeah,
And then when you uploaded last week, that video
yeah,
got the most views in his whole channel.
yeah. I
22
know.
million views. And please
Yeah.
let me just check how much.
It's
Like
like
I'm pretty sure it's on
how
like
I pranked
25
the
million
most
views right
racist
now.
how I pranked the most
Yeah,
racist man in America. So it was
yeah,
really
it's like the
funny.
most
It's
racist.
so good. I was watching it in the office.
Yeah, 24 million views in 7 days, bro.
He's
And
so
his last
good.
upload was 3 months ago.
Yeah. It's the same sort of
It's his
concept.
most popular video by far in 7 days. It's crazy.
It's the same concept. I don't know whether you know this guy called Mark Rober. That guy
Yeah,
posts
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, I heard of him.
the
He does
science
like
guy.
these like Mr. Beast type videos, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like always something big, and he posts. I think he only posts 12 videos a year, so one video a month, and
Mm.
each video is like 20
Bang is
million views,
banging, isn't it?
50
Yeah.
million views, 20 million views, 16 million views. It's There's so much production value to each video that you
Mm.
look at his channel. There's
Quality
no
over quantity,
video.
isn't it? Like
There's no
I think
video
that's what it is right now, yeah.
like you look at his channel, there's no video that's less than 1 million views. There's no video that's less than 10 million views.
Yeah.
Every single video has 20 million views, 10 million views, 15 million views. And that's the sort of idea I want to have when you look at all social media. It's like I don't want it to come across as like just spam. Like you just
Mm.
posting because you want to post, or like, I mean, if you want to do it, but like if there's no engagement in it, then what the
I
hell's
can't
the
lie,
point?
man. I've been a victim of that like before, but
I told
now
you, yeah.
I'm trying
Because
because
the thing is, right,
I can't lie,
I
on my
noticed
LinkedIn, all I do like before, I mean,
I
before I think I was posting good content, but now it's just like
I
either I
noticed
promote
once you
my blog
started
or
doing
like,
the
yeah.
the automatic thing where it's like you write all your content and then you just copy and paste it.
Mm.
LinkedIn doesn't show me your post, by the way. Like I
Yeah, I
had to
know,
actually
yeah.
search your name and then go to your profile and then go to your thing.
Oh
And I'm
man.
like,
I mean,
I
bro,
told
it's
you,
all learning at the end of the day, isn't it? Like,
yeah. And I think that's what these
yeah.
algorithms do as well. Like they
Mm.
want to like, if you're spamming every day, the best word I can use is becoming noise. Like what
Mm.
Gary V, his concept, what I understand, what he was trying to say is he's telling you to put like 100 pieces of content just so that you'll even put out two. That I think that's
Mm.
his thing. Like if he tells you go put out content whenever you feel like it, nobody's gonna do it. But when he says like go put out like 100 content on every single platform, you will at least put one in every single platform. Like I think that's
Mm.
what he's trying to say. But when I was like a newbie, I was like, oh shit, yes, Gary, I'm gonna post like as much as I can.
Yes, Gary.
I was like, oh, I love you, Gary. I'm gonna post every day. Then you see, and every single day, I in LinkedIn, I put like 3, 4 posts in one day. I just spam the
No
shit out
way.
of LinkedIn, and then I realized, like, bro,
But
who's
you
like
learn quick, man. Yeah.
nobody likes it. Now I'm like, what the hell's the point, isn't it? Like, if nobody's
Yeah,
liking it,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, just delete it and just delete everything. Start again.
Yeah,
Do
I
one at
think
a
I've
time.
kind of had that mentality for Twitter. It's like Twitter, I don't tweet unless I want to,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
unless it's something valuable. And bro, all my tweets get like, I mean, five, six. Like, it's not a lot, but like relative to what my followers is a
Yeah,
lot.
and that's the thing. Like as long as it's you feel like there's some value to it, put it out there. Otherwise,
Mm.
do not put it. And that's the same thing with the clonables. Like coming back to it, is like I just don't want to put up clonable for the sake because I got someone to do clonable. Yeah, I'd put a FAQ, put a hero section with a video back. Like it just there's no value. Nobody's gonna. I
Mm.
won't clone it. Why would they?
Mm.
That adds a lot of pressure. You're like, oh man. I have. If you look at my dashboard on Webflow, there's like a list of projects that I did, and I'm like, it's not nice. It's not nice. I think we
What
plan to
client
release.
projects or what
No,
was
no,
it?
it's all clonables. Like remember we did one.
Oh, okay.
We were supposed to twin it. One was
Oh
my
yeah.
proposal, and one was your. What was
Yo,
yours?
what was it? What, no,
Yours
I
was a
released my
site.
one. It was
Yeah, mine
Steinflow.
was like a proposal builder right on Webflow, and then you
Yeah,
generate the
yeah. We
proposal, you
went to
send your
release it
link.
as a collab. That was like our first interaction with each other.
Yeah,
I
and
remember.
I
Yeah,
really liked it, and then I looked at it, I'm like, it looks pretty shit. It's still sitting in my. I've never released it. So I'm like,
yeah.
oh, there's so many projects though. That's that one. There's the Fine Flow
Mm-mm.
project. There's another clonable that I made, which is like a fintech startup template stuff. There's one for property listing. I wanted to do like a whole dashboard for companies to clone and then add their own Airtable stuff.
Mm.
So many, and I didn't release it because I was like, doesn't look interesting.
Mm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
what
I
else?
think quality over quantity. That's like the name of the
Call
game.
it. Yeah, yeah,
But then there's I feel like some people just get this anxiety. It was like, oh, I have to post something. I haven't posted anything, but it's just better. Like,
yeah,
just if you don't have something good to post, you don't post. I
yeah.
think that's one thing I learned. Like, I think recently this has been the longest time since I posted today, and it was actually a valuable piece of content. It was a portfolio piece on
Yeah.
LinkedIn. You probably didn't see it,
I
but
didn't even get it. I didn't even know you posted something.
yeah, I posted on LinkedIn today.
Okay, cool. I'll go and
Um,
find it.
but was it?
But I think this whole week I
Like,
was sort of also
yeah.
a bit. I'm just dull for some. I don't know why, man. Like, I feel
You
like
feel dull.
it's like I don't know, dude. Like, I feel like
You know what it is? You know what it is, bro? It's 'cause, like, you know when you're used to, you're just used to it by now, and it's like it doesn't
I
give you
feel like
that
I'm not
same
learning
fire
anything.
anymore, maybe.
I think
Mm.
I tweeted about it as well. Like, I miss that state of
But it's
flow.
crazy, isn't it? Because you're
It's
making
like
more money now than ever.
I am, and that's
But
why
it's
I'm
like,
like, why am I bored? I have less projects, but I have more money than I used to be. So do
mm,
I really like being busy? Yes. But like the thing with Webflow is like whenever I look at something, I'm like, I know how that's built. Like there's like when I
mm,
clearly remember last year, this time I was sitting at like sort of figuring out how the scrolling thing works and like all this thing.
mm-hmm.
Like 2 years ago, I was figuring out Webflow. And like I clearly remember my first state of flow. It's like I was listening to music on
Yeah, I
YouTube.
remember you
I was
said this to me
designing
before.
something, and then YouTube stops at like 50 minutes, right? And then it just
Yeah,
went
yeah.
on. Like I completely forgot there was music. There was no music. I was just designing stuff. And it was pretty shit design, but like that state of flow, I don't
What
get it.
design or on in Webflow or
I
what?
think I was just designing, not even Webflow. I was just designing something for like the
Mm,
very first client work, or not even a client work. I think it was just like a friend project that I wanted to build a website for him,
mm,
and that I never had that feeling in this whole year. Like I've never sat. Maybe I did a little bit when I was doing the Webflow tools because there was like
mm,
more technical coding stuff. And so I'm like,
mm,
oh, maybe I should do more technical work because code is always more. The thing with the no code and Webflow is like once you learn the, the things, there's nothing much you can do. Like,
mm.
like,
I think
I'm not
it's
saying
like
I'm an expert with
we,
Webflow, but like I
yeah,
know how 90% of stuff is made and I know how to
yeah.
do it. So I'm like, oh, maybe I should focus more technical stuff,
You
more
know, I
coding
can
stuff.
relate so much to what you're saying because what's it called? Like I recently got my friend into Webflow. And bro, like he's literally because there's like he was doing like a website and bro, it was something so simple. I forgot what it was, but it was something really like it wasn't even an interaction, it was just like a layout.
Yeah,
And like it was
it's
like
like, oh,
and then he
man.
was like, "Oh bro, that is so sick." And I was like, "Wait, what?" It's just so simple to me, but I
And
can
that's the thing, like,
understand, I can relate because it's like I remember I was at that point and I kind of miss it. So
yeah,
it's so sick, like
is it
seeing it in another
should
person. Like,
I don't know,
it's like
like
reliving your journey, if that makes sense. It's so cool, but
I
I
don't know,
think
like
I think
am I are we
I
just
think I I think it happens because it's like at the beginning you're like a student, you're
you're
absorbing
learning,
everything. But then
yeah.
once you get everything, it's like you just have to show up and just be a professional and just do it if you don't feel like doing it.
It's
Like
not I
I
don't feel
think
like doing it. I don't feel the challenge anymore. It's just like, yeah, I can do
mm,
it, I
you
can
remember that graph where it's like, oh man, I forgot. It's basically like
I know the
it
state of
has to be a
flow graph.
balance. Yeah, yeah. It was like a quadrant graph.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
forgot.
yeah. You have to be
Mm.
in that center zone where it's
Yeah,
not too
it has to be
difficult.
challenging, but you also have to
Yeah,
be skilled.
yeah,
If
yeah,
if if it's super challenging and you're not skilled,
yeah.
you're just gonna get
And
pissed off.
now where
Then if
what
it's less challenging and you're so skilled, it's gonna be
yeah,
boring and it's not gonna excite you. I think that's
yeah.
where you are right now.
I
Like
think
it's not
that's why
challenging enough and
design
you're super
doesn't
skilled.
interest me anymore. Like honestly, design is like
Mm.
I think we spoke about it. We'll get to that in a
You
bit,
think it's
but
too easy then, or what?
it's not too easy. Like I don't feel like I don't know. It's like I feel like I've already peaked for some reason.
In
Because
design?
there's only like for example the design work that you see on all awards and all that shit. It's cool, but you know for a fact that it's not made by one person, right? It's like probably a
Mm.
team. There's different people. As one person, I think what we do is probably good enough for most client. Like I don't feel that challenge of like, oh, I need this to be like world class or anything like that. Where I feel that now is in the technical side, where it's just development only. And I was just spending the whole day today just figuring out, how on Webflow Nav, I was just the client was like, can we add like a CMS text under each nav, like a small heading under each nav dot. I'm like, how do you do that on Webflow? And then
Wait, what do
I
you mean underneath each laptop?
like imagine each nav dot, like that's like three dots. Under each
Oh,
dot
okay.
they want like environment, global warming, or and Brexit or some shit like that, right?
A nav dot. What do you mean by that?
Like the nav, like a
Oh,
slider dots, not
it's like
nav, but slider
I
nav
was like,
dot.
what are you talking about? Okay, fair, fair,
Yeah,
fair.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
slider
yeah.
dots. Yeah, the slider dots. On
Mm,
Webflow,
mm,
you can't
mm,
even
mm.
customize that shit, right? Like you can't even
Yeah, you
change the
can't.
color.
Yeah.
You have to use code. And then they were like, "Can we add?" And I looked at the mockup. They had like some text underneath. I'm like, how would you do that? I just went like a whole rabbit hole on actually. You can actually put text underneath, but it's code. and I spent like an
Mm,
hour and a half just doing that thing, and I'm like, that's why I was like, I miss that state of flow where I'm like, I don't know how to do
mm,
it. I'm going to learn how to do it, and
mm.
I know how I can do it. It's just that I don't know how to.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like, oh, in the beginning you didn't know a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
and I
That's why
think
you
that's the
could go into
issue.
that flow state. But
That's the
now
problem
it's
with
like
the
you know
no
so
code.
much. It's like there's not enough stuff to for you to get into the flow state of. There's not enough stuff where you can go from the process of, oh, I don't know it, to I know it
Yeah,
now, because you already
yeah,
know most of the stuff,
and I
right?
think that's
So I
that's
think I
that's an
I can relate to
inherent.
that, because even I think I posted a project today. It was
Mm.
like, I think I told you it was the accessibility one, and there was that one part where it was like on a form you have to make it. I remember I told you you have to make it tabbable, so that when you press
Yeah, yeah,
tab
yeah,
on the checkbox, you have to
yeah.
press the space bar and it could
It's right, yeah.
select. And I was stuck on that for so long. But then I went into a flow state, I started researching, and I can't lie, I found things to in the end. But but it was fun, like me trying to like not knowing how to do it and then knowing how to do it.
Right?
It's like yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
just like
But like, the rest of the project I already knew how to do, to be honest. But then actually there was also another part was like skip to main, try to like do that, but that was pretty easy as well.
yeah, it's like that's why I feel like a lot this technical side, and I think we'll get to like why design should we go all development only. It's like
Mm,
with the whole, like, let's take Webflow alone. Once you know how to do a lot of things on Webflow, there's nothing much you can do.
yeah.
You can, otherwise it just feels like you're doing the same thing again and again and again and again and again.
Yeah, because there are limitations anyway with Webflow.
Yeah,
So
that it's like a box, and once you sort of fill up the box, you can add like one new drop of information every day, or some like every 2 weeks you find
mm,
something new to do or something that you never done before. But like
mm,
it's almost like once you fill out that Webflow box or like any no code tool, what else do you do, right? Like
yeah.
to do the next level
So I've got
stuff.
a question for you, like based on that. It's like, because I know you, I think everyone eventually, including myself and yourself, we're all gonna go development only. So it's like, because you're saying, oh, you nothing will really excite you anymore in Webflow. Do you think going Webflow only will kind of add on to that? Because it's like, let's say you go Webflow only, all you're gonna be doing every single day is Webflow, 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 and you already know everything. So it's like, you know,
I think it'll probably go down the whole work on the business rather than in the business phase, where I
mm,
then go and find other things to do, which is again another topic. I don't know if we can cover it today, but
mm,
yeah, I think once you go development only, there's more technical things that you can do more. And I think I told you this, like there's more custom things that clients would require to do when you go technical only, rather than
mm,
design and development. If a company is coming to you for design and development, most of the time it's just marketing side, right?
yeah,
Of maybe very basic, simple apps. But like if you want to go the next level with Webflow only, I think design is the limitation. And I think we,
mm.
we wanted to talk about this, but we can just bring it up quickly. It's just that if you do a design development project, I like design. I was a
I love design. Yeah.
huge. I think like if you tell me like 2 months ago that I would speak in the opposite side, I would slap you because I
Mm.
was like, design and development is the only way to do Webflow, because you get to control the
But
functionality.
you used to say that.
Yeah,
I
I
think
used
you
I
did.
used to hate development only because I felt like then what's the point, right? It's just anybody
Yeah,
could
I
do it.
remember
And
you used to say that, and then I was like, I
design,
remember like before I was like, oh, design is long, and you're like, nah, man, bro, design and
I know,
development. I
I know.
remember, yeah.
Yeah, and then once I actually took, because before that when I was saying that, there was no sort of record of the things that I was doing. So there's no Notion
Mm,
document. I didn't know when a client starts, when it ends, how much they paid me, how much am I paying someone else. There's no record. I just, whatever you start, okay, let's start.
mm,
We launch whenever it's done, right? There's no, okay, it's taking me this long and they're paying me this much. There's no record of it. But I think like start of this year, I use Notion now to sort of keep track of what are the leads that sort of come in, what's the project. And when I can see a start date and an end date, that puts a lot of things in perspective for me, like how long a
mm.
project is taking. And one big shocker is that
Design takes the most in it.
it's
So
not supposed to be a shocker, but fuck me, man. A design development project is 3 or 4 times longer than a development project, or not,
yeah,
and it's the
you
same
know
size.
why? Because design is like, it's so
Subjective.
subjective,
Yeah.
and it's like you go through so many like bro, like I think I told you that I have this one client that's just
You
like,
just go through like so many
yeah,
feedback. There's so much
yeah, yeah,
research
yeah.
that you have to do.
Do
You
you
also
like
want.
this? Do you like this? And it's so hard to deal because let's say a client says, I was watching a few YouTube videos today by Flux, Run, and he was like, but let's say a client says, oh, this isn't the look I'm going for. Okay, what look are you going for? Like, how can you how do you know the client will actually like the design? Like, yes, you can say, oh, I like this inspiration. Like, you can ask them for inspiration size, cool, but then you'll never guarantee that they'll like the design because it's subjective, isn't it? But with Webflow, it's like, is Webflow's either good or bad. There's no in between, or like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I can't come back here after you built a website with client first and use all the proper classing systems and everything, and they
yeah,
can't come back and be like, oh no, I don't like the way you developed. They can't, you know. But with design, you can. Like, there's design is like you can use any excuse and it will work with a client. The client can be like, oh no, I'm just not liking how this design makes me feel. And what can you say with that? Like,
yeah. It's just
there's
like,
nothing. But then they can't say that with Webflow, isn't it? Because Webflow is like, it's very cookie cutter. It's like X, Y,
yeah,
Z. It's like
and
straightforward.
it's
It's
so
either
much.
bad or good.
Yeah, and in terms of business, it's like that straightforwardness is like you get more money, man. Like you know what
Yeah, it's
how
so
much
much
how to
easier to
scope
like
it,
understand and kind of
scope
what's
the
it called?
project. Honestly,
Expect and scope. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, that's like a huge. I'm probably gonna be
So I think
dropping
definitely
design.
like in September, I'm gonna
Yeah, I
go
think I'm
for
probably
development only.
I'm
And I
probably gonna
think, bro,
start now.
like, I think it's good in the beginning, like to learn design.
Yeah,
I think just as a skill and like it's so fun, like just learn design. Like, I'm not saying
yeah.
don't learn
I mean,
design.
I would still design, but probably like internal projects or
Yeah,
fun
100%.
stuff or just
Unless it's like a
no. But
client that I already know, because let's say
yeah,
I'm thinking like I will do design. I'm not saying I'll never do it. It was like, let's say the only way I'll do it is if a previous client that I've done design for comes back and he
yeah,
says, "Oh, I got
or
no put on a
or they
design,"
have a good
and I
budget.
know he was good at design. Like he
Yeah,
was a decent design client. I'll do
yeah,
that, no problem. But
yeah.
yeah, development only, man, is
I
just.
think yeah, I'm gonna start soon.
But it's so hard to transition. Like, actually, no, it's not hard to transition. What the hell?
Not really.
Yeah,
You just gotta take it out from your website and just be like, hey, I'm
yeah,
not doing
development
design. I
only.
had a
And I
lead
think there's gonna
today, and I'm
be,
like,
yeah.
I don't want to do
Do you
design.
think there's more design and development projects than just development?
No, I think there's a lot more development only projects. Like I think
Is
whole
it?
agency. There are so many people who just do Figma to
Bro, because
Webflows, and
I have way more design and development projects than
because
just
that's what we put on the website. You know.
true. And even Brett said that what's it called? Webflow is going is what's it called? It's catching up right now, like it's really popular and
Yeah, and
stuff
I'm
like
also
that.
like thinking of like maintenance plan or like some sort of
Mm.
retainer. Again, retainer again comes in that.
I think the best retainer is SEO, bro, if I'm being honest. And I think I was telling you
Yeah,
this.
you told
Like,
me. Yeah,
maintenance is so hard to like
it's
uh
just
manage and
it is
stuff
very
like that. That makes
finicky
sense.
because you gotta like manage the expectation. You gotta manage your
Mm,
time. You
mm.
gotta. It's a lot more like management stuff, but
But
it is
SEO is straightforward. It's
it's
XYZ.
straightforward.
It's like
Yeah,
it's I think maintenance is like design and development, and SEO is like development only. Like similar narrative.
yeah. Maybe in like 3 months
But
I'll be like, yeah, SEO man, SEO.
yeah. But cool. I think
Cool.
we've talked for like 40 minutes now. I think
Yeah.
just we'll just wrap
I
it up
see
there.
this format works, right? There's a lot more. I feel like there's a
I
lot more
mean,
value.
we can ask the audience, guys, if you did enjoy this type of video,
Like
make
it.
sure that you let us know in the comments. Like,
Yeah.
what do you think about this video? Sorry, I just got a Slack message. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, make sure you leave a like. If you have any, recommendations for any other topics you want us to talk about, or if there's another design draw situation that we haven't, we don't really know about, let us know in the comments. We can make a video about it. And yeah, guys, make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell notification button
I enjoyed
for
this,
to
man.
get
I think
notified for
this
future uploads.
this is a good format. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, guys, if you did, I mean, we'll see how it performs, but I think
Yeah.
it's good. Like, I
I
enjoyed
feel
this
like we
one,
have more,
but
there's more personality coming through.
yeah. All right, guys. See you next week. Bye
All
bye.
right, bye.